Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. As ever, you can find me over on Instagram at the House of Langford and at Overall Sews. I'm also on Ravelry at MadXStitcher, and this is my little slice of YouTube. This is my monthly podcast where I round up everything I made from the month before. So we are on to September. There is a Ko-fi account linked to this podcast if you want to support it. It goes towards things like editing and giveaway prizes, which is always a bonus. Yeah, we are in September. What else do I need to tell you? There is also a Facebook group and a Facebook page linked to this podcast. Just search for the House of Langford in Facebook and hopefully it will pop up. Otherwise, all the information will be down in the description box for you. So, where to start? I guess that's a good place to start. I have not been well for the majority of September and part of October. It's been very busy as well, so I've not actually had any weekends since the end of the month to get this recorded for you. So it is currently, I think, the 16th of October. And yeah, so but I'm going to get it done. And yeah, so I started off with I thought it was just like a back to school cold the week of the Queen's funeral, and it has not gone away. The cold part has, where I'm not constantly needing to blow my nose, but still a bit muffled in the ear, and you can still hear it in my throat, and I am coughing still, so I now have antibiotics. Yeah, we're heading into week 5 of having this now, and I'm quite happy to be getting rid of it, that's for sure. So, I don't have a lot to show you in terms of finishes this month because it's gone already. So, let's start with my plans. Every month I give myself a list of targets or things that I want to kind of achieve in each month. So I can track what I'm actually doing and whether I'm actually following my targets or not, which most of the time, not so much. So my September goals were to crochet some socks for Ellen of Callock Sheck Ellen, who is Mrs. Lamb's Yarns. I wanted to try and finish the magic carpet throw. I wanted to start a Battenburg blanket for my sister for Christmas, or perhaps next year's birthday. Her birthday was in September, so not sure how long that's going to take me. I wanted to finish the mandala piece that I started in August, end of August I started that, and I wanted to finish the pincushion that I have started as part of our crochet workshops on Saturday mornings and Wednesday evenings and Tuesdays. And yeah, if you've seen August's podcast, you'll know that I was teaching crochet on Tuesdays all day and then Wednesday evenings over the summer, and they wanted to continue that, so we moved to Wednesday evenings because we couldn't do days anymore with going back to work. And because the groups got so big, we then had to split again and form a Saturday morning group. So yeah, but they are every other week, so it's not as full on. I get like a weekend off every now and then. But yeah, so that is what my plans were, and I can say I have done none of them. I have made one sock for Ellen, but not 2. And I've made progress on the magic carpet throw, which I'll show you in a little bit. Did not do the mandala piece and didn't touch the pincushion, so definitely didn't start the Battenburg either. Right, I'm going to keep coughing, so I'm going to have to keep drinking at the same time. Just squash, don't worry. So I've a squash or water. I have pretty much been drinking maybe between 2 and 4 litres of water or squash since getting ill, and that has not stopped. So I'm constantly needing the loo as well, which is really fun when you're a teacher. It's especially when the kids say, can we go to the toilet? And I'm like, well, no, because I can't go, so you can't go. I am that mean one. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? So the first category is finishes, and I have nothing to show you. However, I do have a picture of something I did finish. I have been making pumpkins. I put a post up on my Facebook page with the pumpkins I made last year, which are now on display at my local yarn shop, All Tangled Up. And I had a couple of people message me and say, could they please have some? So I made 4 pumpkins, all orange, in 4 different sizes. And I have used the Big Value DK, which I used last year for the pumpkins as well. And I just used this colourway, which is orange. So I made 4 pumpkins, 4 different sizes. I followed the Bella Coco tutorial, which is the same one I used last year, which I will link. I don't know if I can link up there for it, or I'll put the description in. It will be in the description anyway. So yes, I made 4 orange pumpkins. They were then put in the post, so I have a picture of what they looked like, and then started making more pumpkins for somebody else. But because we are now halfway through October, obviously I have finished the second set of pumpkins as well, so I don't have those to show you as whips either. But they will pop up in October's podcast because they were made in October. I had thought about doing the podcast so that I would include everything up to the point I podcast, but that defeats the objective of being a monthly roundup. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, it would be easier for me to keep track of stuff that way, but yeah, I don't know. I still don't know. But there's the option there, isn't there? So yeah, let me know what you think anyway. So for the pumpkins themselves, I have used the Big Value DK. I've also been using up odds and ends that I've got lying around at home, so things like chunky yarn to make some more pumpkins, but they're not finished, so they'll be done in October. And I have used the koala colourway to do the stems, which is also a Bella Coco tutorial for a crochet I-cord, which is actually really quick to do. It's just a little bit fiddly, but I quite like it. And I've seen that some people have been putting cinnamon sticks in the middle instead to provide a scent over the autumn time as well, which is quite nice. So maybe I'll have to try and do some of those too. Not sure how much time I've got left though. I've used 4mm crochet hook because I've been using DK yarn, and that's about it. I have literally I've gone pumpkin crazy for September and October. So yeah, that's it. 4 pumpkins. That's my finishes for the month of September. Everything else is a whip. So let's move into whips, which is my works in progress. So as I said, I was also doing some other pumpkins. They were more multicoloured pumpkins. I have used several different colours that I cannot find. Yes, I can. I used the same colours that I did for my pumpkins last year. So I'll put a picture up of last year's pumpkins, so you've got an idea of which colours they were. She went the exact same ones, but I didn't have any more of the more yarn that I used for the sort of second to largest pumpkin. So she decided to choose sage, and it actually worked out pretty well. I'm quite impressed with this colour. I have enough left over to make possibly a second size pumpkin, but I don't know, so we'll see. I need to weigh it and see how much I've got. That's what I need to do. And yeah, I've been making more pumpkins. I've also started a blue one, and yeah, I've just got I've bought loads of yarn to make loads of pumpkins. So what I might do actually is, because October is nearly over and I'm not going to get all of them finished, I think I will just, when in between projects up until October next year, I will just grab a ball and make a pumpkin. I think that's the only way to do it, so I've got enough to, yeah. Anyway, the next whip I have is the magic carpet throw, so let me dig that out and I'll show you where I've got to. Right, so the magic carpet throw is a crochet along that was in Simply Crochet magazine issues. I think it was 110 to 116 or 7. Might be 116. And it's designed to be made in, I think it's West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab. But I've been using DK yarn from Stylecraft Special DK. So this is the finished blanket picture that they have in this issue. This is issue 113. So that is actually part 4. I have completed part 4, and I have also moved on to I believe I've also completed part 5. So I'm now on to part 6, which is the very last section of the blanket itself, and then I have the border to do. Now what I realised is I don't know where the issue for the border bit is. I'm sure I bought all of them, but I cannot find it. And I've already bought issue 114, I think, or issue 114. I bought one of them and then found the issue at home, so I've actually got 2 copies of one of them, but one is a digital copy and one is the magazine itself. And I don't really want to buy another one just for a border, because I'm sure I've got it, but I cannot remember. Anyway, I have been using Stylecraft DK. You have seen this grow. This is the beginning bit. So I used Petrol, Fondant, Emperor, Spice, Apple, and then Bright Pink, because that's what I used for my gnome, so I still had some left over. That's the middle bar. That is exactly in the middle. So there's no more Bright Pink. I might do the border in Bright Pink. Then we moved on to Petrol again, Fondant, Emperor, and Spice. So I have one more section to do, which is going to be in Apple. But I actually I love this blanket. It's so nice and thick and warm, even though it's only DK. And I like the fact that it mixes up 2 different mosaic techniques. So you have inset and overlay mosaic, and I can never remember which one is which, but I think it's coming on quite nicely. And I have only used 1 ball of the Petrol, which is this one, so I still have a ball left over, and I'm going to put that into the new blanket by Rosina Plain. She's got a new cow out, which I will show you in a minute because that's another one of my whips. Yeah, so I've got an extra ball, and I have used to go into a second ball for the Emperor, but that's okay. But yeah, that is my and obviously I've got all the ends, but it's meant to have an enclosed border, so you won't see any of the ends anyway, and I don't need to weave them in, which is even better. But yeah, it's gonna be nice and crazy for the winter, and I can't wait to finish it. So I did have to stop at one point working on it because I ran out of my base colour, which is Stone. So Stone is the colour that runs all the way through it, and then I've just got the other colours to accent. But yeah, I ran out, so I had to get yet another ball. I think I'm on to ball 4 now. Yeah, so anyway, I'm hoping to get that finished potentially in October, because I want to have, actually I don't know if this will be finished in October, because I know it will. I'll finish this one in October. There is a plan in my head. I'll finish this one in October, and then the next cow I have to finish before December 1st, because that's when the advent for Crochet Society starts for Christmas, and that's a new blanket as well. So I need to finish 2 blankets before the end of November. Now, can I actually do it? Answers down below. So, as I have mentioned, Rosina Plain has another cow going this year, because the mosaic, the magic carpet one, was actually last year's, I think, summer project, or for the year of last year. So for this year, it started in September, and I have only done part 1, and I think we're currently on part 5 that's out, so I kind of need to get a move on. And it is the Ho 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 cow. So I think you can kind of guess who features in this blanket, and you'd be right. It is a Christmas blanket. So it is all one type of mosaic. I think this is inset mosaic. Honestly, I don't remember. It is a type of mosaic. I will find all the details and put them down below for you. Basically, you are working in the back loops of your colour for each row, but to make the pattern, you are doing trebles into the front loops that you missed in the row before of the same colour, if that makes sense. Yes, I am not using any of the colourways that were recommended. There is a traditional, a sepia and a modern. I am using what I have left over. So I still have sherbet, which is this blue, which I used for my donuts. I don't think I used it for anything else, but I do have another ball of sherbet which I was using for the crochet workshops, so I've got plenty. And I have lots of the lipstick colourway, because I bought loads for a blanket that I did my son, which is still not finished, and I've overestimated the amount of yarn I would need. Let's just put it that way. So I have lots of that as well. So I'm using Stylecraft Special DK. It is a Stylecraft collaboration with Rosina Plain. And yeah, I have done part 1. So I have my Santas, and I have the first sort of snowflake type pattern. The next section is a bigger snowflake, and that's where I'm going to use the petrol colourway that I have left over from the Magic Carpet blanket, because it's a darker blue than this one, and I think it will look quite nice. I have also gone for white as my base colour instead of cream. What I will try and do maybe is put up pictures of the 3 colourways. So if you do want to join in, I think the pattern will be released it's all as one on Lovecrafts and somewhere else. I can't remember where. But if you wanted to join in with the parts being updated, then it's on Ravelry. And there is a Facebook group where people have been sharing their projects, and that is Rosina Crochets on Facebook. So again, I'll put everything I can find down below for you, all the links, etc, etc, so you can have a look for yourself. But I am going to work on part 2 of this, and try and get that finished before the end of the month. So I want to do the last section of the Magic Carpet throw and part 2 of this before the end of before the end of October, rather. But yeah, I'm really liking it. It is single size blanket, and again, even though you've got all of these ends, I mean, you could quite easily just tie them together and have it as tassels as your blanket. There is an enclosed border for this one as well, so I'm looking forward to getting that done. But that is my Ho 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 cow. I am only using a 4mm hook. I have not gone down or up, so mine's quite a nice size for me, and obviously everybody's tension is different, so yeah, I'm really liking it. I know that the sherbet doesn't show up very well with the white as the background, but I don't mind. I really like it, and this is going to be wrapped around me for the whole of Christmas, that is for sure. Right, moving on. I've got another blanket, because apparently September is the month to start all the blankets, or at least try and finish some blankets anyway. I have started, now I've done this because my nan asked me to make a blanket for her. Well, actually, technically she asked me if I had anything available for a baby girl, of which I didn't, and then said, can you make me something? So I found the 6-day star blanket, and I've had a few of my friends have made this and said that it is a really good pattern. It whips up really quickly, and I think I did this in a couple of days. I think this is me with 2 days worth of crochet in it. I did the central bit and I think the cream in one evening, and then moved on and did the rest the next day, basically. But I started it when I wasn't well and had to keep going back to the pattern, or at least have it up in front of me so I knew what I was doing. So it hasn't been as quick as I thought it would be, but I need to make it bigger, obviously, because that is not a baby size blanket. So yes, I've got more to do. It keeps puckering in the middle, but I think once it's blocked it will be fine. But yeah, this is my 6-day star blanket. I'm using a 4mm hook again because I'm using DK. DK is clearly my yarn of choice, that's for sure. Not really popular, not really fond of anything thinner. I do have a lot of 4-ply though, but I think for me 4-ply is more of a knitting material. Anyway, so this is my 6-day star blanket. I'm using Deramore's Studio DK, which they brought out just before they closed. So I believe Lovecrafts have the remaining stock, and it looks like this. So I actually bought the bundle where they had one of every single colour that they do of this yarn. So I have one of every colour, and I basically just went into my basket and went, well, what colours are going to work nicely together? So I picked out the 3 pinks, and then I found like this minty green, which is quite nice. But I was debating whether to then add in purple or like a lavender colour. I don't know. Yeah, other people have said just repeat the colours in the opposite direction. So I go from the light pink back to the dark pink and then another round of the green. But I don't know if even that would be big enough. And I've only got one ball of each, so I don't really want to buy more if I run out. So that's why I was thinking maybe adding a lilac or a lavender colour, just to give me a couple more rounds of colour options. And I've got 3 purplish colours. So yeah, what I might do is lay it out and take a picture of the colours that I have and what order I could do it in, and go from there. But I don't want to have to get more yarn for this. That's the main thing. I'm trying to use what I have, which doesn't often happen for me, so yeah. But yeah, anyway, I hope you like it. I think it's really pretty, but not necessarily one to do when you're not feeling very well. Yeah, that's my 6-day start blanket. I can't remember offhand where the pattern is from. I just looked it up and found it. Yeah, again, I'll put all the details down below for you because my brain is still a bit foggy. Hang on a minute. I printed the pattern. So it is by Betty McKnit, who is, I don't know who. Yeah, I think this must be from a blog because I've just copied the whole lot and printed it, so it made it a lot easier for me with being not well. It is in US terminology though, the pattern, so you do need to make sure that you are thinking about that if you work in UK terms. But that is the picture to go with it, and my printer is not very good with the ink at the minute, so it's a bit washy. Yes, my last whip is the socks that I'm making for Ellen. Here is the first sock. Now, she sent me 50 grams of 4-ply. I haven't actually joined up, so really I should be showing you that side. Yes, I haven't entirely finished. I just need to stitch the rib together at the top. And yes, she gave me 50 grams because normally when you're knitting, 50 grams should be enough to make 2 small socks. However, for the full pattern, I think it stops here. So I crocheted the full pattern, got round the cuff and went, I need to measure this and weigh it because I don't think there's enough yarn left for another one. And I was right. I think it used just over 32 grams for the full size sock, on my tension anyway. And I'm doing the largest option because when I measured, it would the sock size that was supposed to fit my foot didn't actually go on. This still doesn't go on though. So I think it would need to be done in a larger hook size, but then it would use up more yarn. Anyway, I pulled it back, weighed the yarn, and then so basically what I did, first thing I did was weigh the yarn and the sock, and then I pulled back the cuff and then weighed again. So I knew how much I needed for the cuff. So then I just pulled back until I had enough for 25 grams plus whatever I needed for the cuff to finish it off, and redid it. So that's one sock anyway. It uses a slip stitch technique to get the main body of the sock, and it is, I don't know what the colourway of the yarn is, but it's a really lovely turquoisey greeny colour. Lots of lovely blues in there as well. I am using 3.25 hook, which is really small for me. I don't often use a 3.25. And I'm doing the, what are they called? They are from More Mag, which is Autumn Winter 2021. And these are Shepherdess socks. And the light is not brilliant enough to get a good decent picture of them. But yes, they are from More Mag. They are designed by Clarizabeth Rodriguez, and she's used Tuku wool, but I have used Ellen's 4-ply yarn, and surprisingly it took quite a long time to do all the slip stitches. The toe itself didn't take any time at all, but getting to the right length took me an age, and then trying to do the heel, I like the effect of the heel anyway. I think it's really good, but I've got holes, so I don't know how I would get rid of that, because you're effectively skipping a row and slip stitching to the row below, so you're gonna have holes. But yes, anyway, I have one sock, and these blockers came with a knitting magazine, cannot remember which, but I like the fact they've got little hangers on the top, so you can always hang them up as well. So yeah, one sock down, one sock to go, and that's it. That's my whips, that's my finishes and my whips, and we're only half an hour in, so this might be a quick one. So last thing then is acquisitions, and even though my list looks quite long here, some of it I'm not going to show you. I've got one I need to go and grab. Yes, I bought all of the yarns I needed for the pumpkins, so I have a big bag of the Big Value DK yarn in all different colours. There's some greys in there. I've got like a teal at the bottom, and obviously orange, and I've got rust colours and sandy colours, all the colours I used before, with a couple of new ones thrown in as well. So I've got those from my local yarn shop, All Tangled Up, and have been gradually working my way through them. I've already gone through 2 balls of orange and a whole ball of stone. Yeah, that's about it. I'm still using the 1 ball of koala though that I bought last year to do all the stems, because they don't take very much at all. Maybe I need to make a pumpkin that is in koala, and try something different for the stalk, but we'll see. So that's the first one. I also have the Perfect Collab Club yarn, which is by Edelweiss Yarns, which is Hot Fuss. And the reason I got this one is because it is an album by The Killers, and my husband and I actually danced to quite a few of their songs from this album at our wedding. So I bought 3. Now the reason I bought 3 is so that I can make something for me, something for my husband, and have one left over to go in with all the rest of them. So yes, I have 3, but look at the pops of the red and orange tones in them. So nice. Yes, so the Perfect Collab Club goes live, I think it's the 20, can't remember what it is. It goes live every month, and there is a different yarn dyer with a different album cover this year. So there are only a couple more left, and Laura of Aphis Yarns, I think, is December. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what she's done, because she couldn't decide at the beginning of the year as to which album she was going to go for. So it is a surprise, and I just love seeing what everyone is coming up with in terms of following the album covers. Yeah. So I have 3. I also have Fiberpunk's birthday yarn for the yarn dispensary, which is self-striping and amazing. Marcus, this is awesome. I cannot wait. I am going to make my first pair of knitted socks with this. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. A friend of mine has also given me a pattern for a sock to try and get me started, so we'll see how that goes. But it is 3 cheers for 7 years. The Yarn Dispensary is a shop in Faversham. The manager is Gemma of the Midnight Diary, and they have been open for 7 years now. So it is Super Stripes, 75% non-mulesing superwash merino and 25% nylon. So 400 meters on 100 grams. And I'm very much looking forward to a very stripy pair of socks. I also have the Truly Hooked minis for this year's blanket club. And we are well and truly into purple now. I have 17 and 18. 17 at the top, 18 at the bottom. The light is blowing them out, but they are absolutely beautiful. So, yeah. I'm going to put them all together. I need to find last year's one. I think I put them in storage. And I'm going to put them all together because we only have a couple more months left. And actually, I think this would make quite a nice Battenburg if I sort of graduated the colours along with the plain in the middle. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do a big granny. Well, no, I can't do a big granny stripe blanket because I don't think they're big enough. I don't think there's enough of them to make me a granny stripe blanket that's going to fit me. Yeah, I'll have a look. Anyway, I think Battenburg might be my way forward because then I can sort of spread it out with some plain yarn. That might be the way to go. But yeah, definitely making a blanket with those. Now, the last thing I have to show you is actually 2 things that I bought this month. What I will say is I bought the white yarn from Starcraft DK from my local yarn shop to do the Ho 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 cow because I didn't have any whites left over. It's one of those colours where you have to have it in your stash at all times because it will disappear. White and black are must-haves for anyone's stash. So yeah, I need to get some more, obviously. And what I've also done is bought lots of different autumnal colours. So I have copper, I have, I think this is tomato, no, it's spice, I have saffron, no, that's clementine, I do have saffron though, I'm sure I do. I have khaki and dark brown, no, walnut, It looks so much darker in this basket. I'm going to show you the basket in a second because I absolutely love it. I also have a couple more in my Care Bears bag from Siobhan's Crafts. And I have in here tomato and sunshine. So really bright yellow and tomato. Now what these are going to be, I'm going to leave those there for a second, is a fabulous pumpkin basket. This is what they are going to be. It is a little basket that you can put sweets and treats in. And I can't remember who it's by. Oh, it says Make Me Raw. Kate McCulley. This is the pumpkin. I also have the egg, which is the Easter egg version as well. And I purchased these both from Ravelry. I've printed them out, and all of those colours I've just shown you are going to be this. Now I'm going to add in white because there are some white sections in there as well. But that's the only other thing that I need to add to it is the white. So I'm definitely going to need to get some more. However, what I wanted to actually show you, not just lots of yarn, is the basket that they are currently living in. So let me get this back in the bag and I will show you. So my friend spotted that someone had put a post on Facebook about these baskets, and I immediately had to go and look for one. And thankfully, my local Mandala had quite a lot. So I have a panda basket and it's full of yarn. I love it so much. I was extremely tempted to get two, but then I thought, my husband might kill me. So this is my little yarn, my new yarn basket, and I absolutely love him. Isn't he just fab? I think it's made of like a papery type material. But I love it. Absolutely love it. And it sits next to me. It sits by my feet whilst I'm on the sofa. And I can just pull the yarn out of it. Yeah, I think this is going to be my new sort of whip basket in a way of all the yarn that I've got working from. Because I can wedge, what have I got in there? 5 balls of yarn. Potentially 6 if I try and squeeze one in the middle, into this basket. And if I centre pull, they won't need to move anywhere, will they? So yeah, I love my little panda. Now, a little bit of sad news. It's not really sad, I just feel sad about it. I have not got the September Care Bear box from Siobhan's Crafts. And I think the reason for this is because I was away with my husband when it went live and I forgot. Now I've liked the picture on Instagram, but I didn't go to the shop. And it has actually made me really upset that I haven't managed to get one. And I did contact Siobhan, and unfortunately all of the spares have sold as well, so I'm not able to get it. And I wanted all of them, so yeah, it has really upset me. And I know that it's something really silly to be upset about, but I was really looking forward to them, and part of me wants to just stop buying the rest because I've missed one, but I know that's foolish. And like the saying goes, if one flower dies in a bunch of flowers, you're not going to throw the whole lot out, are you? You're going to continue with them. You're just going to remove the dead one. So yeah, it feels really stupid to feel that way, but that's how I feel. And I'm trying to laugh about it, but I still feel upset about it. So yeah, that's my little tale of woe. I'm missing a Care Bear. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Because I think that's everything. Actually, I forgot one. I don't even remember where we got this from. think we went to an event at a local farm. No, I know where I got this from. I got this from the All Show, and I got it from my mum because the All Show was at the very beginning of September, and I picked up a little robin for my mum because we lost my grandfather a couple of years ago now, so I thought I'd get her something for the Christmas tree this year. Even though they don't really have a Christmas tree, they have a tree that lights up, which we just hang decorations on depending on which time of year it is. So yeah, and I can share it here because I know my mum doesn't watch my podcast. So that is from the Glitter Bug, who are on Facebook, so I'll see if I can get a link for you. Right, so there has been a lot going on in September, and there are a lot of events for October coming up as well, including the Knitting and Stitching Show, which is actually gone, but I'm doing a vlog that will be up soon. There was the Love Local event in Faversham for the yarn dispensary, and again that will be its own little vlog, so these are things that you can look out for. And my plans for October are to pretty much finish stuff. So I want to get the next part of the Magic Carpet Throw done. I've already mentioned that. I want to get at least the next part of the Ho 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 cow finished before the end of this month. And I want to try and get the 6-day star blanket done as well. I've also got some pumpkins that need finishing. But yeah, that has been my September. And yeah, I think it's just finishing and planning for Christmas now. What is quite nice though is the last week of October is half term. So even though I have a training day on October 31st, which is Halloween, I'm not going to get much done on the 31st, so I should be able to record October's podcast early. Not by much. I'm going to aim to do it on the 30th, but hopefully it'll be up a lot earlier than this one. Yeah, I need to go and eat some more food. And because today I got up really late, had a really long, nice long sleep, which I have needed for quite some time. I haven't had a nice long sleep recently because I've been coughing a lot or just been stressed about stuff. So it was really nice to have a long rest this morning. Didn't even join in coffee morning this morning because I completely forgot about it, even though I went onto the Instagram chat and everyone was saying they're going. So I don't know, I've just had lots to do, but yeah, things are moving forward, which is really good. And time for me to sign off. So if there's anything you've seen in this podcast that you like the look of, please do check the description down below, and all the information should be there. If it's not, nudge me and I will put it there. There's always something that I tend to forget, even if it's something really small. But yeah, it will all be there for you. And if you like it, please hit subscribe, because we are heading towards another giveaway. I think we're almost at 500 subscribers, which is my next giveaway target. So please share, or at least recommend or send people this way, and see if we can get those numbers up, and I'll do another giveaway then, hopefully before the end of this year. Let's see if we can hit 500 before the end of Christmas. Yeah, before the end of 2022. Oh my gosh, I have been talking too long because now I can't talk properly. So I will see you all again next month, and actually because it's now the middle of October, that won't be too long away. But yeah, I've got a couple more videos to film and get ready for you as well. So I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.